Earlier in the podcast, you had mentioned the word code. You had said, it's almost like you're standing in front of like a door, maybe that's what I pictured at least, and you're putting in someone else's code. What does this mean, this code that you're speaking of?
Yeah, so this code is actually, so everybody has a DNA, okay? And for me, the way I look at it is we have ingredients in us. We have, gifts in us, talents in us that are very distinctive. It's natural, it's authentic, and it's an asset. So for me, DNA is a distinctive natural asset, and that's the tool that I've been using in the business for years, specifically when I started working with entrepreneurs and innovators, because I wanted to find the gem in them and I wanted them to see it. So this tool is, we're looking at everything in you that is specific, distinctive, authentic, and we create value from it, with it, through it. So this is what I'm talking about with the code. This is the here are the dogs. So this is your prism through which you create the unique value that you're here to create. Once you know who you are, once you know what's specific, unique about me, we make everything an asset. We make everything an asset. Like we flip scripts. Like when I was a child, my father used to make me feel really bad about how sensitive I was. Like, on Saturday night, when everybody's watching a movie and I used to cry. I mean, it's beautiful, I cry. It's horrible, I cry. I mean, what's wrong with you? And I was ashamed of it because I felt like something was wrong with me. And when I look at my life and how being super like sensitive, receptive to feel and see through things so much, this is who I am. This is what I'm bringing to the party. And that's the story of my life. This is, I help corporations, I help individuals discover the gem, that the unique gem that they have. And I mean it like from the from my heart, as enough of wanting to be the same, enough of wanting to comply, enough of playing small, enough of not loving ourselves for not being the same or looking or fitting in. Done with that. And even I've had the privilege really to working with amazing leaders. They don't see what I see in them. And so this tool is just one of the tools that allows anybody to see. And I've seen the transformation in people's eyes, like, regardless of your position, it's like, wow, this is who I am. This is who I am. Yeah, I didn't make it up. I didn't make it up. This is who you are. This is what you're bringing to the world.
Wow.
What are you doing with that? So yeah, being unapologetically unique and doing something with that, because it's not just fine to be unique. It's like, I feel like we're at a time when it's important to step up for who we are. We need to contribute from that place.
When you say compromising, complying, I feel like sometimes people don't grasp what that means. Like, how does somebody know? We have a ton of people watching live, by the way. Thanks so much for being here and hanging out with us. But for those listening live, how does somebody know that they are compromising, playing small, playing by other people's rules? Because it's so ingrained in us. It's so almost natural just to obviously be deluded. Like, what's the feeling? What is the thoughts? How do we start to recognize?
Yeah, and I love the question, because this is when we start gaining power over the autopilot, the numb part of us that took over our life, right? Is feeling. The answer is always in the question. So it's in the feeling of it and how you feel. It doesn't feel right. But we're so used to stuff it in, to work with it, to push, to effort, to like, we stop listening to ourselves. I knew a long time ago that everything was off in my life. But you know what? I kept going. I denied that listening to myself, right?